Okay, so we're here in the room of roomliness, but not for just any old reason. More to the point, I'd like to show something I picked up today for rather cheap. Alrighty then. What I've got here is a Cherry brand. This is a switch-based keyboard. You know Cherry, the brand that makes all the switches for the newer expensive keyboards? Well, they used to make all their own keyboards, and I think they still make them for POS machines, but point of sale, that is, not piece of shit. This is a POS keyboard, actually. And it is just awesome. It is a dream to type on. It's no IBM Model M, but it's a really close second. I mean, listen to this. It's so nice. And, just so I can show you the spring technology, because it is a spring, it is kind of a buckling spring type technology. I'm not actually joking here. Let's take off a key that I wouldn't mind missing if I couldn't reattach it. I'm not a professional with this thing yet, but the 0 was broken when I got it, and I had to fix it, so I think it'll be a good example. There we go. There. See that right there? That right there is the switch, and that is not. Those are just analogs, so it feels like you're typing on a full thing. Anyway, that right there is the switch, and under each one of those keys is a full-size switch. No membrane, no cheesy little bumpy thing, rubber bumpers. There's a full, and I don't know if you can read that, but try to make it so you can. And if you can see it just barely on the top, it says Cherry. And each one of them says Cherry on it. This one is a bad example. It actually doesn't say it very clearly. But it's so nice to type on. I mean, listen to this typing sound. Let me see if I can set my camera on something. What do I got? Grab 3 of my Zippo lighters. Those will do. Okay, hopefully you can see, sort of, just how lovely, and listen to how lovely this sounds. I'm just going to type a quick little sentence. Now you can't tell me that doesn't sound awesome. It's just an absolute joy to type on. And because it was a point of sale machine, each key has, come on, focus camera, has these things. You can lift off the top of them, they're little plastics. And you can put a little piece of paper in. I took all the ones off the F keys because the F keys have printing on them. So I have them in my desk drawer of mystery. But I left these things over all the keys that didn't have printing, like this one right here, and that one, which I don't have a cap for. It also has a credit card reader, which surprisingly, or actually just a magnetic card strip reader, which surprisingly works just fine. So the Dream Machine has its side off at the moment, but I'll put that on in about a minute here and we'll power it up and I'll show you how this keyboard works. In the meantime, you've probably also noticed that I have this sitting on my desk. The Slimline that I just built a new replacement for. And yeah, I noticed that this thing actually doesn't overheat if I don't have, once again, the desk drawer of mystery, if I don't have the little ATI Radeon HD 3500 in there all the time. If I don't have this card in there and I just use the onboard graphics, which by the way are pitiful, it doesn't overheat. And it's not overheating because the graphics card is putting out too much heat. It's actually overheating the North Bridge from having too much bandwidth. The North Bridge wasn't actually designed. Nobody was ever supposed to really put another graphics card in there. They gave you the option, but I don't think they thought anybody would ever put one in it. And it just so happens that when you do put one in it, it overheats the hell out of the North Bridge, and it works the power supply unit way too hard, and it just causes it to become really unstable, especially dual monitor. So because I replaced it, and it was necessary because we like to have our dual monitors out front, and we also like to make sure that that it's fast as possible, just for web browsing and stuff. So I did replace it. So I'm thinking I'm not going to sell this though, because it's possible to use it as a server, because that doesn't require any video power, and I can still serve my website. I can finally use Windows Home Server 2011, because it's a cheap copy of Windows 7 essentially. It's just $50. And run my home server and my website off of that. So yeah, that's probably the plan there. Now I'm going to close the desk drawer of mystery. Oh, I don't know if anybody saw this in here. If you do any sort of CAD or anything, you have to have one of these 3D Connexion mice. 3D mice, that is. They are amazing. And my Logitech G72 or 73, I don't remember what it is. I don't really use that much. That was kind of a waste of money. Okay, I'll be right back with the computer on. So I was doing some work for a friend, and I forgot to mention this earlier before I power up my PC. I was doing some work for a friend, and he said, I have this motherboard. Basically, I was working on the system, and I was putting in a new motherboard for me. He goes, I still have this motherboard. I can't give you the processor with it, because obviously we just put it in this other one, but you're welcome to this one if you want it. We thought this one had an issue, but we weren't really quite sure. We think his power supply just might have been inadequate. Either way, I have this now, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm trying to decide still. It's in perfect condition inside its box here. Let's see. Let me get it open. Still in good condition. No damage to anything. Even a SATA 6 gigabit cable. Got the I/O level up feature. Got the heatsink. Kinda cool. Anyway, BRB. Alrighty then, my machine is booting right now, so that I may show you the splendor that is the card reader on my Cherry keyboard. So I'm going to log in. I just did a fresh install of Windows, so don't rag me about how little this computer's been customized. Take a second here, just so I can enter my password. Okay. And let's see. Okay, I'm gonna open up Word. There we go. Microsoft Word. Sorry it's taken so long, my computer hasn't booted up all the way yet, so there we go. Okay, so let me grab a magnetic card. Let me see what I have in my back pocket. I may or may not have my wallet. Oh, good, I have my wallet. Which means that I have receipts from Fry's Electronics. And a gift card from Tiger Direct. So, here we are in Word. 3, 2, 1. And that's the printout from that gift card. I'm not going to show too closely because I kind of want to keep what's left of my gift card if somebody knows how to decode that number. But it's kind of cool, just like this. And it works perfect. Prints it out. Okay, well that's that. Now, it has these. Now, I've tried finding the software for this, but I can't seem to find it for this board. It has this wait, offline, and message pending. I'd really like to have that message pending light for when I get an email or something. That'd be kind of cool. And the offline light, I don't think that applies. I don't think there's anything under this. I don't even think there's an LED there. And the wait light, I'm not really sure. That's probably for the reader here, for when it's when a POS system would have been thinking. It flashes the numlock too whenever I swipe a card. Watch this. Anyway, just thought you might find that kind of interesting. Cleared off my screen. No, don't save the changes. I like my Windows NT Workstation 6.1 background. I thought it was kind of cool at the time, I guess. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on at the moment. Just cleaning and organizing. That computer I put in the kitchen, I put this cheap sound card from Diamond in it so that it would have a digital output, because the Boston acoustic speakers we have don't take analog input. So this is my only option. It's a really cheesy little sound card, but I think it'll do good enough. It only supports 16-bit, of course. That's all we can hear, so that's good enough. So, yeah, it's in so many freaking different languages, it looks like it was designed to be sold in another country. But, that's what it requires. 128 megabytes of RAM, 20 megabytes hard drive, 850 megahertz CPU, a PCI slot, some speakers, and Windows XP, Windows Media Center, or Vista, or Windows 7. Strangely enough, it doesn't come with the Windows 7 drivers. It didn't even come with the right CD. It instead came with the CD for the 24-bit editions, which apparently have no similarities as far as driver compatibility. It came with this, driver installation CD version 1.0. Doesn't even say it supports anything. Media Center XP 2000. It's from 2005, before Vista was released, so it can't support that. Doesn't even support Windows 7. It's 7.1 24-bit sound cards. This is a 7.1 16-bit. There's no similarities. The CD shouldn't have even come with this card. So, it's kind of a rant. And I had one more thing that well, you know what, I'll save that other thing for another video, because it's kind of just curious. Oh, no, I'll do it now. Why not? I don't really want to make another video. I'm too lazy. So, I bought my mom a birthday present, and it was a game of Auto Bridge. If you've ever played the card game Bridge, you know it's very complicated, and it requires a little machine if you want to play it by yourself. And I got her that, and in the box came this. Okay, back to what I was saying. So, in the box for that Auto Bridge game, I found this. And this is a used Auto Bridge, obviously. Found it at a thrift store. And inside I found this Model 920 IBM PC XT compatible keyboard. User's manual. Printed on really heavy cardstock. IBM is a registered trademark of International Business Machines Corporation. Shows on the back the buffer of the keyboard, the voltage required, how humid you can use it, the operating altitude, which I can't imagine why that would ever make a difference. Force of key leverage. These are 20-gram keys. Keystroke life, 40 million cycles. Can you imagine 40 million pushes of a key? I can't even imagine that. Here it is. Look a little similar to the IBM Model M. Well, I believe it's supposed to. It's kind of cool. It's got the introduction. 9200 keyboard is an 85 key keyboard designed for PC XT compatible. Is divided into 3 sections: typewriter, key area, function keys, and numeric keypad. Also has 3 status lights. Amazing. This is a really thin manual. I mean, it's only got like a page and a half or something. Gives a quick overview of all the irregular keys. Print screen, unlock, scroll lock, reset, Control Alt Delete. And last page. Numlock, how it works. The scan code. I don't really know too much about that. I actually know nothing about that. And then of course the keyboard interface connector, which was a 5-pin normal sized DIN. Data, ground, clock, 5 volts, and reset. I think that's kind of interesting how data goes through just one area. It must be heavily multiplexed for those who type fast. This is kind of interesting. The stroke does actually go down a fair amount. Okay. Well, that's just kind of the interestingness that is coming across something at a thrift store. I'm gonna keep that in my desk. Hopefully one day I'll find the keyboard. I would really like to get a keyboard like that. But for now I have my Cherry, and it's, oops, pretty good. I love the sound of that. It's magical. Yeah, nothing else really to report on. I'm just doing cleaning, coming across stuff I didn't know I had anymore. It's just one of those times right now. Found an old Sound Blaster Live 5.1 edition. Probably came out of a Dell that I had at one point. Found some of my PDAs from back in the day. My Mavica, the 25, which you've probably seen already. Just a whole bunch of other crap that I'm still cleaning. My laptop hiding under that. Oh, and I have something that I'll make another video out of later. It'll be, hint, 1989. One more hint. The company started with an A, and it made game consoles and computers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's